Welcome to Judge Diaries. Today's case number is 8942. She took his car after the breakup. Before we begin, drop a comment and tell us where are you watching from, your city, state, or country. Let's see who's tuning in to Judge Diaries today. Judge, okay. Let's get this circus on the record. Small Claims Court, October 30th, 2025. Mr. Ronald Pierce versus Ms. Taylor McCrae. Mr. Pierce is suing for the return of a 2016 Nissan Altima or the value of said vehicle totaling $6,200. Defendant claims the car was gifted during a romantic relationship and is therefore hers. Mr. Pierce, you're the plaintiff. Start talking, keep it simple. Plaintiff. Yes, Your Honor. I bought that car in my name back in March. Taylor and I were dating then. She needed a way to get to work, so I let her use it. I never signed it over. I never gave it to her. She just took off with it after we broke up. Judge. When you say took off, define that. Did she leave the house, the city, what? Plaintiff. She moved to Charlotte, ma'am. I live in Atlanta. She took the car up there without my permission and blocked me on everything. I had to call her sister just to find out where she was. Defendant. That's not true. You told me I could have it. You said, and I quote, consider it yours, baby. Judge. Ma'am, you'll get your turn. Don't interrupt me or him again, or I'll hold you in contempt and have you watch this case from a holding cell. Defendant. Yes, Your Honor. Judge. Mr. Pierce, back to you. Did you ever write her a note, a message, a text, anything that says this car was hers? Plaintiff. No, ma'am, and I've got the receipts. The title's in my name. I make the monthly payments. I have the insurance policy. All of it. Judge. Good. Hold on to that. We'll need to see it. Now, Ms. McCrae, you seem eager to speak, so I'm giving you the floor. Tell me your side, and don't spin fairy tales. I'm allergic to nonsense. Defendant. Okay, look. We were together for 2 years. He was living with me for 6 months when he bought the car. He used my address on the paperwork. He parked it at my place. He even told my mom it was my car. Judge. Did he ever say the words, I gift you this car, or sign anything transferring ownership? Defendant. No, not like that. But he said it was mine. He gave me the keys and told me to just drive, don't worry about anything. That's a gift in my book. Judge. Well, unfortunately, this court doesn't run on romance novels. It runs on documents. So unless you have a signed title or a text that says, this car is yours, we may be headed toward a reality check. Defendant. I have screenshots, Your Honor, of him calling it my car. Judge. Show them to my clerk. Mr. Pierce, do you dispute that? Plaintiff. No. I called it her car when we were together, sure. But that don't mean I legally gave it to her. Judge. Smart man. Affection does not equal asset transfer. Defendant. Then why did you stop paying the insurance after we broke up? Judge. That's a good question, Mr. Pierce. Plaintiff. Because I wasn't driving it anymore. She had it. She ghosted me. I'm not paying to insure something I can't access. Judge. So the car was uninsured for how long, Ms. McCrae? Defendant. A couple of weeks. Then I got it switched to my own insurance? Judge. Wait. You insured a car you don't legally own? Defendant. I had to. I needed to get to work. Judge. Ma'am, that's not how insurance works. You cannot legally insure a car titled to someone else. That's fraud if the insurer finds out. Defendant. But I didn't know. Judge. Ignorance is not a defense. It's a liability. Plaintiff. She's been joyriding in my car for 5 months, Judge. I didn't even know she moved it across state lines until I saw her on Instagram in front of a Charlotte skyline. Judge. Instagram, huh? Social media really is the gift that keeps on giving. Defendant. That's not fair. He left out the part where he cheated on me. Judge. Cheating may make him a terrible boyfriend, but it doesn't transfer vehicle ownership. Let's stay focused. We are here about a car, not your heartbreak. Defendant. But the breakup is why I took the car. I had nothing else. Judge. That's called theft, ma'am, not a legal settlement. Defendant. He told me to keep it. Plaintiff. I said that when we were happy, before she keyed my other car and slashed my tires. Judge. Excuse me? You left that out, sir. What happened? Plaintiff. April 4th. I have the police report. She came to my job and slashed both front tires. Keyed liar on the driver's side door. Defendant. Because you slept with my cousin. Judge. Whoa. Stop. Everyone take a breath. This just went from small claims to a full-on soap opera. Defendant. Sorry, Your Honor. Judge. We are going to dig into that next. But right now, let's get the paperwork. Mr. Pierce, submit the title, payment records, and the police report. Ms. McCrae, those screenshots of texts. Clerk, make copies. Judge, conted. I'm going to take a recess, review this evidence, and then we'll dive deeper. Next session, I want answers about these alleged tire slashing, social media bragging, and how a car became a pawn in this breakup from hell. Court will reconvene in 10. Judge, all right, we're back on the record. This is case BC 482, Pierce vs. McCrae. I've reviewed the documents, and let me tell you, this case is as messy as a drive-through divorce. Mr. Pierce, I want to walk through these events in order. You say you purchased the 2016 Nissan Altima in March. Show me that receipt again. Plaintiff. Here you go, Your Honor. Bill of sale dated March 12th. Paid $6,200 cash. It's all here. Title is in my name. Address listed as hers, but that's because we were staying at her apartment back then. Judge. So you used her mailing address? Plaintiff. Yes, ma'am. I was between places. I just left my old lease and was crashing at her spot while I lined something up. Judge. Fine. And this document here, your insurance policy, shows you added the Altima to your plan March 15th. Plaintiff. Correct. Judge. Then we have Zelle and Cash Appy. Transactions all dated around the same time. $6,200 total paid to Car Depot Auto Sales. Plaintiff. Right. Judge. And this police report dated April 4th. 2 slashed tires. A 2009 Camry. Not the Altima? Plaintiff. No. That was my backup car. I was trying to sell it to get some of that money back. I parked it at my mom's house. Next morning, it had the word liar carved into the driver's door, and the front tires were flat. Judge. And you're saying Ms. McCrae did it? Plaintiff. I know she did. Her cousin messaged me the same night saying, you had this coming. I got screenshots. It was revenge. Defendant. I didn't touch his car, and he didn't even mention what he did to me. Judge. We'll get there, one at a time. Mr. Pierce, what happened after April 4th? Plaintiff. We fought. She told me she was done, but she kept the Altima, said she needed it for work, and I owed her. She said she'd bring it back after she cleared her head, but she never did. Judge. So she ghosted you? Plaintiff. Yes. She blocked me on everything. Her number, Instagram, even Facebook. One of her friends told me she'd moved to Charlotte. That's when I saw the Instagram post. Her in front of a Wells Fargo tower, smiling, with my car in the background. Defendant. It was our car when we were together. Judge. Ms. McCrae, do not interrupt. Mr. Pierce, when was that post? Plaintiff. Mid-May. I have the screenshot here. Timestamp and all. Judge. Clerk, please collect that. Mr. Pierce, did you try to report the vehicle stolen? Plaintiff. Yes. But the officer said since I gave her access to it, gave her the keys, it's considered a civil dispute, not a theft. Judge. That is legally correct. It muddies the water. Plaintiff. But she wasn't on my insurance anymore. She had no right to drive it. Judge. Understood. And the payments? Plaintiff. I was paying monthly on the purchase. I gave $3,000 down, and then monthly payments through Car Depot, like a rent-to-own. But she stopped answering my calls, so I stopped paying in June. I figured, why pay for something I don't have? Judge. So the car is likely in default? Plaintiff. Yep. They've been calling me about it. I'm still liable because it's in my name. But she's out there driving it, racking up tolls and miles like she owns it. Judge. Do you have proof of unpaid tolls? Plaintiff. Yes, ma'am. Peach Pass sent me 3 unpaid toll notices from the end of June. One of them's from Charlotte. She's racking up tickets in another state with my tag. Judge. Oh, you're going to love the DMV on that one. Okay, let's pause right there. Ms. McCrae, are you driving this vehicle with Georgia plates registered to Mr. Pierce's name? Defendant. Yes, but... Judge. No. Just answer the question. Yes or no? Defendant. Yes, Your Honor. Judge. Do you hold a legal title to the car? Defendant. No, but he gave it to me. I told you. Judge. I didn't ask what you believe. I asked if you hold the title. Defendant. No. Judge. Then you are driving a vehicle registered to someone else across state lines. That is a liability nightmare. Not to mention potential fraud, depending on how you insured it. Defendant. But I had no choice. He left me with nothing. He cheated on me and threw me out, and I had to start over from scratch. Judge. So your defense is emotional trauma? Defendant. No. I'm saying he said it was mine. In every way, that counts. Judge. We're not here for vibes, Ms. McCrae. We're here for documentation. Did he sign it over to you? Defendant. No, but... Judge. Then it's his car. Defendant. He said... Chokes up. He said I deserved it. After everything I helped him through. Plaintiff. Oh, come on. You helped me cheat on my taxes once. That's it. Defendant. You lying? Judge. Enough. This is a courtroom, not a reunion episode of Love and Lawsuits. Let me ask one final question for today. Ms. McCrae, if I were to ask you to return the car right now, what would you say? Defendant. I'd say no. It's mine. He doesn't deserve it back after what he did. Judge. You don't get to decide who deserves what. That's my job. And right now, you're admitting to holding property that you know is not legally yours. Defendant. It feels like mine. Judge. Ms. McCrae, feelings do not equal facts. And in my courtroom, we rule on facts. We will resume tomorrow with cross-examination. I want both of you to bring any and all messages you exchanged during the month of March, before, during, and after the purchase. And Ms. McCrae, if you have a single document, text, voicemail, anything, where Mr. Pierce states this car was legally gifted to you, I want it. Otherwise, your defense is sinking faster than that tire-slashing story. Court adjourned until 10 a.m. Judge, court is now in session. This is the third hearing in case number C-482, Pierce v. McCrae. Yesterday, we established that the vehicle in question, a 2016 Nissan Altima, is titled in the plaintiff's name. The defendant admits she's driving it across state lines without formal ownership. Today, Ms. McCrae, we're going to give you the floor. But before you launch into any emotional poetry, I want to remind you that this is a legal setting. You may cry, but don't lie. Defendant. Understood, Your Honor. Judge. Good. Let's start with your evidence. Yesterday you mentioned screenshots where the plaintiff called the car yours. Present those now. Defendant. Here. I printed the texts and also emailed them to the clerk. This one's from March 13th, right after he picked up the car. He texted me, "Go ahead and take it to work tomorrow, it's yours anyway." And then, 2 days later, told my boy it's your car, you drivin' like a boss. Judge. I see those. Mr. Pierce, do you deny sending those messages? Plaintiff. No, Your Honor, I sent them. But I was talking casual, like, it's yours to use, not it's yours to own. Judge. Ms. McCrae, in your mind, did those messages represent a legal transfer? Defendant. To me, yes. We'd been through so much together. He'd lost his job, moved into my place. I was feeding him, supporting him emotionally. I stayed through his mood swings and depression. I thought that was his way of saying thank you. Judge. So no actual transfer of ownership, but verbal sentiment? Defendant. Yes, ma'am, Judge. Do you have any messages that clearly say, this car is a gift, I won't ask for it back? Anything more definitive than romantic slang? Defendant. No, ma'am, but he acted like it was mine. Judge. Again. We do not adjudicate based on vibes. This is not a psychic reading. It's court. What about your insurance? You claim you got coverage in your name? Defendant. Yes? Through a local Charlotte agent. I just used my name and my address. Judge. Did you tell the insurer the vehicle was titled in someone else's name? Defendant. No, I thought it wouldn't matter. Judge. It always matters. Insurance policies are based on ownership and registration. If they find out, they could cancel it retroactively. That could mean unpaid claims, legal exposure, even fraud depending on the state. Defendant. I wasn't trying to do anything shady. I just needed to survive. Judge. I hear that, but intent doesn't erase consequences. Mr. Pierce, did you ever attempt to repo the vehicle? Plaintiff. Yes. In July, I called a repo guy in Charlotte. He went by her last known address, which turned out to be her friend's place. She wasn't there. They said she'd moved again. I gave up after that. Defendant. That was so wrong. I almost lost my job when they tried to take it from the parking lot. Judge. Welcome to the consequences of driving someone else's car, ma'am. Defendant. But I was working overtime shifts just to pay for gas and oil changes. I maintained it. I kept it running. And you know what? He never even asked me to give it back. He just ghosted me too. Plaintiff. I ghosted you? You blocked me first, after you keyed my Camry. Defendant. Because you slept with Tasha, my blood cousin. Judge. And here we go again. Let's unpack that. Ms. McCrae, you're alleging that Mr. Pierce cheated on you with your cousin. Name? Defendant. Tasha Daniels. She lives in Riverdale. She messaged me on Snapchat 2 weeks after he bought the car and said, and I quote, "Your man been in my bed, sis." Judge. Mr. Pierce? Plaintiff. We weren't official anymore by then. She'd already told me to get out of her apartment. We were just in a weird place. Judge. So you're confirming the affair? Plaintiff. I wouldn't call it an affair, but yes, we hooked up once, after the breakup. Defendant. He's lying. We were still together. I have texts from him saying, "I love you," dated the same week. Judge. Let's see those. Defendant. Here, March 29th. Don't give up on me, you're all I got. And April 2nd. I'm still your man, always will be. Judge. Mr. Pierce? Plaintiff. I said those things, but it was already falling apart, and I didn't think she'd take the car and disappear like that. Judge. This is one of those cases where everyone's emotionally bankrupt but financially overdrawn. Ms. McCrae, you claim this car was a gesture of love. You built your life around it. You maintained it. But you never legally received it. Defendant. Yes, ma'am. Judge. And Mr. Pierce, you admit you spoke carelessly and emotionally. Made her believe the car was hers, but never filed a title change. Plaintiff. Correct. Judge. So I've got a man who used romantic language to imply ownership, but not legal transfer, and a woman who interpreted relationship security as material gain. You two wrote a contract in your heads, but never on paper. Defendant. It felt real. Judge. A lot of things feel real until the law gets involved. Let me ask one more thing. Ms. McCrae, if I were to order you to return the vehicle today, do you have the ability to do so? Defendant. It's in my friend's garage in Charlotte. It needs a new battery, but yes, I can get it back. Judge. How long would that take? Defendant. Maybe 2 or 3 days? Judge. You'll have 72 hours to surrender the vehicle if I rule against you. Otherwise, we'll be talking about potential civil contempt. Now, before I issue my verdict, I want to hear from one last person. Plaintiff. Who? Judge. Your witness? Tasha Daniels. The cousin. Ms. McCrae's not the only one emotionally wrecked by this. I want to know what she knows. She's either a victim or a catalyst, and I'm about to find out which. I've subpoenaed her myself. She's in the waiting room. Clerk, bring her in. Judge. Bring in the witness. Let's get to the root of this family triangle before I lose my mind or my patience. Clerk. Ms. Tasha Daniels, please step forward and remain standing to be sworn in. Witness Tasha. I'm here. Clerk. Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Tasha. Yes. Judge. Ms. Daniels, you've been mentioned in this case more than a few times. Let me be clear. You are not on trial, but your honesty is, so don't play games with me. Understood? Tasha. Understood, Your Honor. Judge. Now, did you or did you not have a sexual or romantic relationship with the plaintiff, Mr. Ronald Pierce? Tasha. Yes, we slept together one time in April. Defendant. Liar. Judge. Ms. McCrae, you will not speak until I call on you again. Continue, Ms. Daniels. Tasha. It was a mistake. He messaged me late one night, said Taylor had kicked him out. He said he needed someone to talk to. One thing led to another. Judge. Where did this take place? Tasha. At my place, in Riverdale. April 6th. I remember Because it was 2 days after Easter. Judge: Did you know he was still romantically involved with your cousin, Tasha? He told me they were done. He said she'd blocked him, trashed his car, and he had nowhere else to go. I believed him. Judge: Did you two continue the relationship, Tasha? No. It was just that one night. After that, I felt sick about it. I told Taylor 2 weeks later. Anonymously at first. I sent her a Snapchat message from a burner account. Defendant: That was you? Tasha: I couldn't face you. I didn't want to lose you, Tay. Defendant: You did lose me. You lost me that night. You knew what he meant to me. Judge: I will clear this courtroom if anyone else talks out of turn. Ms. McCrae, deep breath. You will get your chance to respond. Ms. Daniels: What do you know about the car? Tasha: Just that he showed me a photo of it when he bought it. Said he got it for Taylor to help her out. But he never said he gave it to her. Just that she was holding it down while he got his money right. Judge: You never saw paperwork? Title? Tasha: No, ma'am, just the photo and his words. Judge: So in your opinion, was the car a gift? Tasha: Honestly, no. It felt more like a favor. Like she was letting him keep it at her place and drive it while they figured things out. Defendant: You don't know what you're talking about. Judge: Ms. McCrae, you interrupt again and I'll have you removed. Final warning. Tasha: I'm sorry, Tay. I'm sorry for everything. Defendant: You're dead to me. Judge: Okay, that's enough. Ms. Daniels, you are excused. Clerk, please escort the witness out. Tasha: I'm sorry again. Witness exits. Judge: Now, let's bring this plane in for landing. Mr. Pierce, I'm going to ask you directly. Were you ever clear with Ms. McCrae that the car was not a gift? Plaintiff: I thought I was. I mean, I never gave her the title. Never said, this is legally yours. I just let her use it. Judge: But you used phrases like, it's yours, in texts. You told people it was her car. You didn't make payments after June. And you didn't report the car stolen when she left? Plaintiff: Because I was trying not to make it worse. I didn't want to escalate. I just wanted the car back. Judge: And Ms. McCrae? You understand that calling something yours in a text message does not transfer legal ownership, right? Defendant: Yes, now I do. But at the time, it felt real. It felt like love. Judge: Let me be blunt. Both of you are emotionally reckless and financially irresponsible. Mr. Pierce, you used money and gestures as leverage in a relationship you weren't emotionally stable enough to sustain. You dangled that car like a reward, then took it away when things got messy. That's manipulative. Plaintiff: I just wanted her to be able to work. Judge: Don't sugarcoat it now. You used the car to feel needed and punished her with silence when you didn't. Plaintiff: I guess. Judge: Ms. McCrae, you accepted an expensive item with no legal documentation. You knew that title wasn't in your name. You knew you couldn't insure it properly, but you ran with it anyway, across state lines, and played victim when the bills came due. Defendant: I just didn't want to start over with nothing. He took so much from me already. Judge: You took something too, and you've been hiding behind heartbreak ever since. Let me ask one more thing. Ms. McCrae, you said the car is in Charlotte? Defendant: Yes, in my friend's garage. Judge: Will your friend cooperate with the return? Defendant: Yes. She's already told me she'll help me bring it back. Judge: Then here's what's going to happen. You will have 72 hours from today, not tomorrow, not next week, to surrender that vehicle to the jurisdiction of Fulton County. I will issue a court order authorizing Mr. Pierce to take legal possession. If the vehicle is not returned by 3 p.m. Friday, a civil warrant will be issued for contempt and unlawful possession. Defendant: But I'll lose my job without it. Judge: Then you should have clarified ownership before driving it to another state. Consequences are not optional just because life is hard. Defendant, sobbing: I gave him everything. Judge: And now you're paying for what you didn't put in writing. Court will reconvene one final time on Friday to confirm the return of the vehicle and finalize damages. If either of you fails to appear, I'll rule in absentia. Until then, Court is adjourned. Judge, we're back on the record for the final session of case number C-482, Pierce v. McCrae. Today we are confirming the return of the 2016 Nissan Altima and issuing judgment on damages. Mr. Pierce, were you able to recover the vehicle? Plaintiff. Yes, Your Honor. I met her friend at a gas station outside Charlotte on Thursday. The car was there. Keys in the glove box. I had it towed back to Atlanta. Judge. Was the vehicle in acceptable condition? Plaintiff. It was rough. The battery was dead. Rear bumpers cracked. 2 warning lights on the dash. There's over 12,000 more miles on it than when I last saw it. Judge. Do you have a mechanic's estimate for the repairs? Plaintiff. Yes, right here. 1,740, 18 total. Battery, sensor diagnostics, and body panel replacement. Judge. Ms. McCrae, do you dispute that? Defendant. No, Your Honor. I couldn't afford to maintain it properly once I moved. I drove it as long as I could. Judge. And yet you posted photos from Miami in June, correct? Defendant. That was a friend's trip. She paid. I just went to forget about things. Judge. Forget about your unpaid tolls, your unpaid repairs, and the fact that you were driving a car you didn't legally own? Defendant. I didn't know what else to do. Judge. Let me be clear for anyone watching this case. This situation is what happens when people treat relationships like contracts and contracts like relationships. Ms. McCrae, you were wrong. Emotionally wrong and legally wrong. You interpreted casual romantic language as permanent transfer of property. You insured a car you didn't own. You moved it across state lines. And when confronted, you tried to justify it with heartbreak. Defendant. I know. I'm sorry. Judge. You're not sorry. You're embarrassed. That's not the same thing. Mr. Pierce, you were also wrong. You treated material generosity like bait. You handed over a car, let her drive it, sent messages implying it was hers, but never followed through with clear boundaries. Then you pulled back when the relationship soured. Not legally, not firmly, but passively. That's cowardice, not accountability. Plaintiff. I just didn't want to fight. Judge. And now you're in court. Let's talk restitution. Ms. McCrae, the plaintiff is entitled to $1,740.18 for documented repairs, $185.90 for unpaid tolls, $400 in temporary towing fees, and $300 for breach of implied use agreement that totals $2,626. You will have 60 days to pay. If not, the amount will be forwarded to collections, and a civil lien may be placed against any registered asset in your name. Defendant. Can I make payments? Judge. That's between you and collections. I'm not a payment processor, but I suggest you call them immediately. Now, before I close, I want both of you to hear something. Not as litigants, but as people. There is no such thing as a relationship contract. You don't earn material things by loving someone. You don't owe someone a car because they stayed with you through a rough patch. Love is not a transaction. If you want to give someone a gift, do it in writing. If you want to borrow something, put it in a message. If you want to leave someone, don't leave gray areas that drag you into court 6 months later. Plaintiff. I understand. Defendant. Me too. Judge. I hope so, because the next judge might not be so patient. This court has seen enough broken hearts disguised as lawsuits. It ends here. Case closed. Bailiff. All rise. Case closed. What do you think? Did justice win today? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real courtroom stories like this.